Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to make money in the market or to learn from the market. But y'all, let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only, y'all. With that being said, let's get started. So today I'm going to start with the inside day candles because we did have a few inside day candles. Bank of America, BAC, is one of those. I'll give the trigger points. If it breaks above 35.75, then 36.17 is the target. If it breaks below 34.75, then 34.15 is the target. Right now, it's trading in this gathering spot at 35.33 as the resistance and around 35.15 as the support. And as you can see, we're trying to drop below that, and the ATR trailing stop at 34.05 is our support. We just broke through that level of resistance that we had marked, and it had been at this area for a while. So if you trade Bank of America, it is an inside day. Watch those levels, set your alerts, and again, trade what you see, right? So CVX is also an inside day. The trigger to the upside is at 157.71, gives us a target of 157.81. If we break below 155.64, gives us a target of 155.42. It too is creating a gathering spot for us. It's kind of moving sideways, and it really needs to get above this 156.60, which is this 50 EMA on this daily chart. And right now, we could very well come down and test this 155.86, which is the ATR trailing stop again on this 30-minute chart. If we break this level, we could very well come down to this to this trigger here for the inside day. So I would say if you trade Chevron or CVX, be very, very careful with that. Trade what you see, mark your alerts. And Disney is another inside day candle. If it breaks above 114.21, 114.50 is the target. If it breaks below 112.89, which we have tested that already this morning at 8, we came down to 112.66. So if it continue to the downside, then the target is 112.52. Right now, it's above the 5 EMA at 113.04. And the 20 EMA 113.17 is our next level of trouble or resistance, right? So 113.43 is the 50 EMA. So if it breaks through those levels, we could very well come back to the upside. Netflix is a double inside day. I like those because that means whatever moves normally it makes is going to be a strong move. But again, anything is possible, right? So if Netflix breaks above $620.97, then the target is $622.45. If it breaks below 607.71, then the target is 607.51. And Netflix too was trading in this range. It kind of like broke out of that range under the 5, under the 50, under 20, under the 50. So we got a little bit of trouble to the upside, right? So we need to break above that 615.47 in order to try to make it back to the upside. If by chance we break above 617.74, which is the ATR trailing stop, 618.91 will be our next level of trouble. So it will have to break all of those areas in order to trigger this inside day to the upside. So I would say trade carefully. If you trade Netflix, pay attention to your candles, follow your charts. I say that often. So now let's go look at the VIX. The VIX is interesting, right? Because it had been trading in this zone for a while. As you can see, we've been trading sideways, and our level of support was right here at the 1790. Our resistance was right here at the 1803. So we were trading like sideways, right? So we came and tested this 50 EMA, got rejected, came down only to find support at the 1761, which is the ATR trailing stop. Now, are we going to continue to the downside at the 1717? 200 EMA here, or are we going to use this to bounce and take us back to the upside? Keep in mind, we did reach a level of 1911 on yesterday. I always try to remember those levels because it could very well come back and retest that. Right now we are under the 5 EMA. That is our trouble place. If we get above the 1797, we still have the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA. So to the upside, if we break above that, it could very well carry us back to the upside. And I'll have the 1822 marked as, because that's here. If it goes above the 1822, we could very well climb back to the upside. So let's look at the SPY based on what we're seeing here on the VIX. and the SPY was trading within this zone, kind of like in the same, kind of like the VIX was. You know, we've been trading sideways or in this little gathering spot for a while. So our area of support was at the 502, and our resistance is right here at the 502.45. So that's a small range, right? So the move today may be a strong move up or a strong move down. I always say trade what you see, right? So let's zoom back out. Right now, SPY is under the 5 EMA. That is our resistance, which is right here at the 501, 502 area here. 501.77, 501.81. That's our trouble place right now. If we get above that, you know, we still have trouble at this 200, at the 20 EMA, the bottom of the support line. We have trouble right here at the 50 EMA and trouble at the 502.45. So it will need to break all of that. If it does, we can go up and test the 503.20. If we break that level, we could very well come up to the 506.12. I can't say that it wouldn't do that today. You know, anything is possible in the market. I'm looking at the MACD and it just looks like it's a no trade place for me, right? So right now it looks like we're trying to get a bounce here. We will need to break through, again, all of this in order to trade to the upside. Something to be mindful of. We're going to look at the SPY on the daily chart. Well, let's go to the 4-hour for a minute and then we'll come back to the daily, because on the 4-hour we can see that SPY has a gap that needs to be filled to the downside. The trigger, it was at 503.02 is what started. It needs to close the gap at 497.37, and it was created on 222. Well, as you can see, we came down to 499.12, and I really thought that we would have closed the gap on yesterday, but you know, it came down, you know, gave us a double bottom here and went back to the upside, which is okay, right? But it still remains that, you know, there's a gap that needs to be filled to the downside. And looking at it, you can see it a little bit clearer on this daily chart. Keep in mind, SPY only moves $6.29 per day in either direction, up or down. So if we break this 499.11, which will support from yesterday, if we break this level, we can come down and fill this gap at the 497.37. If we break down or continue to the downside, looking at it on this daily chart, the next level of support is at 471.56, and that's a long drop from 500 or 501. You know, that's a long decline. So I would say if you trade the SPY, trade carefully. I always say trade what you see. Right now, it looks like it's trying to give us, you know, a breakthrough area. Again, I can't say it enough, trade what you see. So let's go to Tesla, which is y'all know Tesla is my favorite, right? So looking at Tesla, we kind of been riding this wave for a while. I always do that. So we've been kind of riding this wave for, you know, a while. This is the 30-minute chart. So our gathering spot this morning was at 152.64. That was the support. The resistance was at 153.17. Well, we broke out of that about 7 this morning, and we start making lows, lower lows. We were declining, right? So looking at Tesla, 151.11 is the low. We could very well continue to the downside with Tesla. I would say trade carefully. Keep in mind, Tesla has a gap that needs to be filled. Also, looking at it here on this 4-hour chart, we can see it. It started at 155.48. It is closed at 146.41. I would say trade carefully if you trade Tesla. Y'all, these trade carefully today. There's gaps to the downside that need to be filled, and at some point they're going to fill those gaps. But you can make very good profit if you're able to get in at the right time and out at the right time. Let's say that. So y'all, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I'm super excited. It's a new day, another opportunity. And yeah, I hope that, everyone just have an awesome day today. I can't say it enough. Have an awesome day today. And I always like to leave you with this, y'all. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.